What is up, guys, and welcome back to another vlog. And today is the most exciting day in a long time. I have a phone call scheduled with Jordan from RK Tunes, and we're gonna be flashing my ECU. So I'm giving him remote access to my PC. He's gonna do some wizardry on the computer, get my car all dialed in with the current specs, with the current fuel injectors, with the turbo size, etc., etc. We're gonna get this thing tuned. I cannot wait to hear this thing start up and idle properly. I'll give you a little bit of an update. I tried to flash the ECU with Jordan, and unfortunately I bricked the ECU. So I'm not exactly sure what happened to the ECU, but it is now not being responsive. It's no one's fault, just sometimes it happens. So I also have been working with Jordan on a couple other things that I needed to fix on the car in order for it to run properly. One of which is the charge pipe and the placement of the mass airflow sensor. You guys have been mentioning to me that this has been messed up for a couple of days now, and I agree. As I mentioned, I just tried to make TJ's old pipe work because that's all I had in the shop. What I'm gonna do today is head over to HG Motorsports, pick up a piece of aluminum, and I've been working with Eric, and he showed me the right way to fix this and the right way to install the MAF. The thing that was done this morning is Mickey actually flipped around my oil feed line, so now it clears the hood. So I don't have to do any other modifications. I just test fitted the hood. It fits perfectly, which is awesome. That means I don't have to cut the hood or anything like that. I showed you guys this before, but I haven't looked at it since I've been working on my turbo kit, since everything's been a lot more familiar. So this is M3 turbo goals here. This thing's 500 horsepower now?
It did 580 at like 4,000 RPM.
And 580, is that what you said?
580, yeah.
Holy sh**.
3.5 all the way back to, I just have like a muffler, pretty much, that's it.
Damn, it's... I cannot believe my car hopefully sounds something like that when it's done. Dude, that sounds so good.
I'm all about information, and I'm not trying to be like JDM out or anything, but I like information. I want to watch all my temperatures. So oil pressure is notorious on these cars. So I got an oil pressure gauge, oil temperature, and water. And then boost gauge, wide band O2 sensor, and I have like a more of a tack and I like shift light. And then my boost gauge is going to be in the center, which I'm going to make a mount for it, you know, so it's going to sit flush, you know, kind of pointed towards me.
Sure.
And it's going to sit right where the cup holder is, and kind of like no cup holder. I have the one back there.
A huge shout out goes out to Omar from HG Performance. Hooked it up with this awesome pipe. This is going to be my new charge pipe going into the throttle body. We're going to have to remount that mass airflow sensor. Wanted to talk a second about the E60 M5. So if you guys saw in a previous video, or maybe even saw this online, Chris from B is for Build actually bought this car. I'm gonna let Rick explain what happened with the M5, so I'll insert that clip right now.
I slammed on the brakes, the front of the car hunkered down, and the brakes locked up, and I skidded into the car in front of me, which was a Toyota RAV4. So the unfortunate thing about the accident was that because I was like slammed on the brakes and skidding, the front of the car actually kind of sunk down a little bit, and the impact was the driver's side headlight with the rear bumper of the RAV4. And what ended up happening was the bumper crash bar, the crash support, wasn't even impacted at all in the accident. And the headlight ended up just getting destroyed. It pushed the headlight back into the air intake, destroyed the front radiator support, and pushed a bunch of stuff into the engine. So insurance totaled the car on the spot, and it just so happened that Chris, B is for Build, was in town at the time of the accident. So Chris and I were talking, and he actually said that he would consider taking the car on as a project. So I ended up buying the car back from insurance and then selling it to Chris, and Chris is now restoring the car. So I'm sitting in it now outside of the warehouse, but it'll be getting picked up and brought back up to Oregon so it can get repaired. So yeah, I'm sorry I didn't do an explanation sooner. It's been pretty hectic around here. I haven't had a car, so I've been trying to find a new car, and fortunately that's solved today. So I just got down to Euro Motorworks, and this car is freaking sick. Check this out, guys. Car is a 2006 CLS 55 AMG. It has about 78,000 miles on it. So for those of you that don't know, the CLS 55 AMG is a 1 year only. It's the 5.4 liter supercharged motor. So after 2006, they switched over to the CLS 63, which was the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. So when I was looking for a new car, I really wanted to go with the supercharged V8. So you know, part of the reason that I wanted to do that was because it's just so much more mod friendly, and you can make so much power with these things.
How do you like it so far?
Pretty sick, man. Way more luxurious than the M5, I'll give you that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
And it's easier to drive. That SMG in the M5 was brutal.
You got a nice telephone here.
Oh yeah.
Wanted to wrap up today's video with kind of going over a couple announcements as well as talking about the future plans for the M3. So first up, a ton of new throtl merch just hit the shop. We just dropped a ton of new designs. I want you guys to go check them out. The link is in the description below. Secondly, we're giving away a turbo kit this month for all throtl VIP members. So if you haven't seen anything about that, check the link for that as well. All right, so let's talk about the M3 for a second. There's actually 3 things that I need to do before I can get the car on the road, and I would consider the project completed at this current state. First up, I need to make a new charge pipe with the mass airflow sensor in the correct place. Secondly, Jordan is actually overnighting me an ECU that's already flashed for the proper tune for my car. So I need to install the new ECU, get that all squared away. And thirdly, I need to figure out my exhaust system. So right now it's just running the CX Racing downpipe, but I can't run that car on the street like that. So I have to get a 2.5 inch exhaust all the way back to the dyno muffler. So I may have to do some custom fab there, maybe build a collector, something like that, I'm not too sure. So as far as a timeline goes, I'm actually going out of town for the next couple days, so I'm gonna be handing over the vlog to Mickey and Rick, and those guys are gonna be vlogging for a few days. So unfortunately, the M3 project is going to be stopped for just a couple of days. So if you guys wanna stay up to date with the progress on the M3, I recommend hitting that subscribe button, turning on the post notifications. So in the meantime, you're gonna have to hang out with Rick and Mickey. They're gonna be filling in for me. As always, if you like what you saw in this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. We'll see you guys in the next one.